speaking of Wellness Wednesday, mga kasangbahay, of course, hindi mawawala sa ating usapan ang ating minamahal na personal effectiveness coach and corporate communications guru. Of course, walang iba kundi si Miss Sheila Viesca. Good morning po, Miss Sheila.
Hi, Ma'am Sheila.
Good morning,
Good morning po.
ladies. Good morning, Kuya. Hi, Beth. Ika, Irina. Awesome to be
Good
here with you. Happy
morning.
Wellness Wednesday.
Happy
Wellness Wednesday, Ma'am Sheila. Maganda yung topic mo, ha? Adaptive leadership ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon. What is adaptive leadership po ba? Ano po ba yan?
Yes. Well, Rina, ito yung leadership that got conceptualized in the 90s. It is a practical model of leadership kasi it's about being able to adjust to the problems, to the ever-evolving problems, and changing environments. Lalo na ngayon yung nangyari sa atin with this pandemic, and now we are adjusting to the ideal normal. So, when leadership is adaptive, nagkakaroon ng capacity to cope with the different challenges in a manner that's productive and empowering.
Okay. Meron po ba ang characteristics pag sinabing adaptive leader po ang isang tao? Kailangan po ba flexible po siya? Ano po ba yung mga characteristics na kailangan naming makita para masabi naming adaptive ang isang leader po?
Okay. For a leader to be adaptive, kailangan may panahon itong mag-reflect dun sa mga nangyari, sa successes and failures. And an adaptive leader is not afraid to admit na may pagkakamaling nangyari, to be accountable for that. He is also aware na may mga uncertainties along the way and that certain processes have to be changed. This particular leader is comfortable in not having all the answers all the time. Kaya he's able to listen to others who are experts in that dimension of the problem. Yan. So yun ang for me are the top two characteristics of adaptive leaders na kailangan natin ngayon. Of course, there are extensive studies on adaptive leadership, and when this was conceptualized, may 4 na pinag-uusapan na tamang-tama naman when it comes to our political candidates. So in terms of traits or principles, nangunguna dyan yung organizational justice. So while adaptive leaders have to be creative, kailangan din magkaroon sila ng kakayahan to create an environment that's able to communicate creative ideas pero values-driven pa rin. Kasi if it is a values-driven environment or work setting, nagkakaroon ng mas malaking buy-in from the people they're leading. So, necessary to para ma-implement nila yung tamang solusyon. Second one is emotional intelligence. We know that whatever the leadership style, mabigat yung kahalagahan ng emotional intelligence. Of course, IQ matters a great deal, but emotional intelligence allows the adaptive leader to recognize kung ano yung kailangang gamitan ng emosyon, sino yung kailangang pagtuunan ng pansin. It also allows him to figure out kung ano yung hindi na kailangang gamitin or kailangang sundan. Para mas mapaganda yung pag-usad nung anumang solusyon to any problem. And this particular situation can be uncountable to the followers. Kaya medyo kailangan maalam yung leader who is going to resort to adaptive leadership. Kasi hindi pwedeng wala kang alam sa sitwasyon and suddenly you are adaptive. Maraming complexities that will lead to people being disengaged, demotivated. Pero of course, when the leader is emotionally intelligent, alam niya kung paano i-approach complexities na to in a mature and thoughtful and organized way. And then Yung
Yun pala
may
yun.
dalawa pa. Yes. Yung pangatlo,
Okay, go ahead.
when it comes to adaptive leadership principles is development. So, kailangan sa leaders, madali silang matuto. Learnability is very important here. The skill to learn will always be the best skill to learn, whether it's among the followers or the leaders. So, an adaptive leader is also open to experimenting various approaches. Hindi lang siya nakastuck sa isang box. As he learns from failures, kailangan mapag-aralan din niya kung ano ba yung pwede pang gawin, ano pa yung pwedeng i-connect. And in this regard, open siya na makatrabaho ang ibang tao who don't necessarily agree with him. Kasi you cannot experiment and constantly learn new things if you're surrounded by the same situations or same people who are always in agreement with you. Then,
So true.
lastly, in this study of leadership style, yung character. So, adaptive leaders display a strong character, meaning meron silang code of ethics and principles that's so obvious to their followers. And this allows them to implement effective solutions. Bakit? Kasi kailangan mo ng trust from the people you're leading, from the people you want to be leaders themselves. So, an adaptive leader has the same set of rules for himself and for his followers. Hindi magkaibang yardstick. Although, one danger of adaptive leadership is such leaders can also be rule breakers. Bakit? Kailangan sila mag-adjust eh. Pero when it comes to their codes of ethics, their values and principles, they resonate with the people they lead. Kasi alam nila, itong leader na to, may clarity of thinking, clarity of vision, na gawin ang tama para sa lahat.
Doon sa na-mention mo, Ma'am Sheila, no, may tanong lang ako. Doon sa number 3, no, kasi sabi mo doon, kailangan they would be able to hire, no. One of the most popular adaptive leader is Abraham Lincoln, di ba? Because he was able to hire cabinet members from his rivals. Pero sa panahon po ba ngayon, nakikita pa po ba natin yung adaptive na leaders po natin? Kasi usually what they would hire is the people from their yung set nila, set ng position nila or set ng, ang tawag ba doon, ng party nila, set ng party nila. So they would hire people from the same set of party. So can we say na may nakakita pa po ba tayo mga adaptive leaders at this point in time?
Well, unfortunately, kung meron man, hindi natin nakikita. Ngayon, marami tayong naririnig. Yan ang wishful thinking ng ating mga candidates na ma-unite yung mga different parties so that they get to work together. But we still need to see that. I think it's a good start that our candidates are talking about it, and definitely it's the right direction kasi hindi lang yung mga malalapit sa'yo, nasa inner circle mo ang makakatulong sa'yo. People who don't necessarily agree with you will allow you to make better plans for everyone. And people who agree with you, they can nurture a harmonious environment, but that environment is not necessarily progressive. Kasi lahat kayo
Walang growth,
isang
no?
direction.
Parang may balance eh. Oo, may
Correct.
balance eh. May
Oo.
nagpo-pro, may nagko-con, di ba? So
Wala.
balance eh. Nakikita.
Parang agree lang
Parang
lahat,
ganon.
no?
Oo, ngayon
Oo,
kasi
oo.
gusto lang yes lang ng yes para mas
Yun na nga.
lahat at
Yun
ang
parang
mahirap
ano
na
yun.
eh, oo. Pero
Walang
sino
kontra.
may question lang ako. Ang pagiging adaptive leader ba ay innate or can it be learned? Paano ba yan? Ikaw ba ay ipinanganak na maging ganito or ito ba
Good question
sa
right
process natututunan mo?
Well,
Sheila.
that's a very good question. No? Bagong-bago to. It was it's it's a leadership style that got conceptualized in the 90s. Kasi yun na yung panahon ngayon eh. We have the ability to develop certain leadership characteristics based on our personality, of course. Kaya yung iba medyo a bit on the bossy side, yung iba naman a bit on the diplomatic side, yung iba naman tend to be perfectionistic in their approach. Yung iba naman tend to be carefree in their approach. So may propensity tayo na makadevelop ng certain traits. But when we talk about leadership styles, these are styles that the individual gets to adjust to as he evolves in his role. So kailangan talaga may maturity, leadership maturity, emotional maturity, spiritual, mental maturity yung leader. Kasi that's a unique advantage when it comes to practicing adaptive leadership. Nakikita mo yung pinanggagalingan ng maraming tao when they talk to you. Nakikita mo yung kagandahan ng mga proyekto or kamalian din ng ilang mga proseso. When you have that maturity to distance yourself from the problem and look at the big picture instead of being prone to tunnel vision kasi isang leadership style lang yung ginagamit mo.
Oo.
Pero
Miss Sheila, no? Yes, go ahead, friend. Go ahead.
Sino yung more likely to practice adaptive leadership? Yung mga baguhan ba or yung mga matagal na nandyan na namumuno?
Well, this definitely is a skill that you learn. So hindi ito bigla mo lang binasa tapos ganun ka na.
Na-intriga ako dito.
You have to be doing it. Kailangan meron ka ng mga na-implement, meron kang extensive experience in that field to become an adaptive leader. Otherwise, walang trust among the people you are leading. Kasi bakit ka mag-i-implement ng change kung wala ka namang exposure masyado dyan? Diba may bago ka lang naisip?
Oo.
Yes.
Di mo naman naranasan.
Yeah. So it's more advantageous for someone who's been in the arena for a long time, who is experienced when it comes to policy making, decision making. Meron ka ng mga practices na napag-aralan, na napag-eksperimentuhan. Kaya ngayon when you use adaptive leadership, natitimpla mo. Kasi hindi sa lahat ng pagkakataon dapat flexible ka. Hindi sa lahat ng pagkakataon i-break mo yung rules. Diba? Lalo na in the government setting. Kasi meron tayong sistema may mga proseso na tayo. So, hindi fully adaptive leadership ang mag-work dyan. But if you are not an adaptive leader, it's very difficult to thrive in this position. Bakit? Lahat ng mga challenges natin ngayon are adaptive. Diba? Yung tulad nito, yung setting natin.
Kailangan open ka na nga.
Correct. Suddenly, nag-pandemic. Ibahin mo yung sitwasyon mo. Iibahin mo yung pananaw mo. And suddenly, nag-new normal na. Adjust ka uli. Ngayon, we're now adjusting once again to the old normal, to the ideal normal. Adjust ka uli. Hindi pwedeng hindi mo alam yung pinanggalingan and then suddenly, implement ka ng bagong processes and strategies.
There's no point of comparison kapag hindi ka dyan matagal. Okay. Erica?
Naku-curious lang ako habang pinag-uusapan natin ito. Meron ako naisip pero sa ibang bansa hindi dito sa atin para maiba naman. Parang naisip ko dito correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Sheila, yung presidente ng Ukraine, what's his name again? Si Vladimir Zelensky ba? Ano ba? Oo, yan. Oo, ayun yung presidente ng Ukraine, Miss Sheila, na nabanggit ko yun, naku-curious lang ako, does it also mean na adaptive ang isang leader kapag, alam mo yun, kapag nakakapag-reach ka doon sa mga taong, doon sa mga nasasakupan mo, does it also, alam mo yun, yung mafe-feel nila nakasama ka nila sa laban na ito, may it be a war, may it be pandemic or economic situation. Masasabi po ba natin na adaptive ang isang leader kapag kasama ka nila on the ground, on the battlefield, na we are in this together, na hindi ka nasa itaas, hindi sila nasa ibaba. Parang, maano ba natin yung gray area na yung, alam mo yun, yung mararanasan ba natin na pantay tayo? Kapag adaptive ang isang, parang ganun, you're breaking barriers.
Oo, very good point yan, Kikaya, kasi adaptive leadership is responsive to the changing times. Kaya when the leader is adaptive, his style resonates with the people he's leading. And in that case of Ukraine President Zelensky, makikita natin na may consistency yung hinihingi niya sa European leaders na okay, nung hindi nagawa ito kahit yung request niya para maprotektahan yung kanyang mga tao, hindi nagawa. He's still open to dialogue, and then he adjusted his demands. Diba? Nag-a-adjust siya dun sa binibigay na tulong sa kanya. So I would say he's able to maximize the assistance coming from the European leaders, from the countries who want to help him. Kahit medyo limited sila in their approach. So with that kind of leadership, hindi man niya nakuha yung gusto niya, yung pagsasara nga nung kanilang ano ba to? Anong code? Anong term nila?
Ano nga yung border ba yun? Border ba? Borders.
Para hindi sila atakihin ng Russia, di ba?
Yes.
From the air. Hindi napagbigyan yun kasi it will compromise the assistance coming from the European community. But still, makikita mo yung tao nandun pa rin sa kanya, oo. And he's able to maximize the assistance that he's getting from the European community kahit hindi ayon dun sa gusto niyang mangyari in the beginning. So, tamang point yun, Kikay, and he's a good current example of adaptive leadership. And up to now, he's open to dialogues kahit ano yung nangyayari. Kasi alam niya na when you fight fire with fire exclusively, talagang it will lead to the annihilation of your country and the society, the world as a whole. Yeah. So
Let's
ito
talk
yung style na yung thinking
Go
outside
ahead.
of the box para
Yes.
on a bigger scale.
Ma'am Sheila, may natanong din ako, no, pertaining to business naman po ito, sa mga businessmen, ganyan. Mas successful po ba ang isang negosyo, isang business kapag adaptive po yung kanilang leader? Because some people, like I know Chinese are very aggressive po when it comes to business po, no? So parang they would, ang tawag nito, nagtatanggal sila ng mga tao kapag hindi alam nilang medyo nagiging resistant dun sa target nila, sa goal nila, because they're very aggressive when it comes to business, no? So can you say na in a way, kahit hindi adaptive ang isang leader, nagiging successful din po ang isang negosyo, ang isang business? Ganun po ba? Paano po?
Well, when it comes to businesses, all the more the leader has to be adaptive. Kasi hindi lang naman ngayon, nakita natin noon, di ba? Ano yung mga unang cellphones nyo, ladies?
Nokia.
5110.
Yes.
No, parang
Diba?
panglaban.
K10.
Nokia. 6150 na pala yung
Mga 3310, mga gano'n.
Ayan,
Diba?
3310.
That was revolutionary at that point. Pero ngayon, pag wala nang naka-Nokia, parang ano na siya.
Meron,
wala
nanay
na
ko
talaga.
naka-Nokia.
Meron. Oo,
Nakipa, yung mga
dinosaur
ilan, no?
phones. Yes. So that's one example of a business or a situation na hindi nagkaroon ng adaptive leaders and therefore hindi nakasunod because adaptive leaders expect change to
Para
happen.
napag-iwanan panahon.
Oo, di ba sabi nga change is constant. The only thing that's constant is change. At totoo yan. Our hope is that it's change for the better. And generally, it's the case when it comes to businesses, when it comes to technology. But it's not always positive. However, an adaptive leader is able to expect that. Kasi you're dealing with people, you're dealing with personalities. People change.
Makes sense.
When people change, situations change.
Yung
This will
foresight
keep
ang important.
Correct. Oo. And when you expect plans to change, nagkakaroon ka ng unique ability to learn further about what you can do, about how much more you can empower people to help you along the way. Whereas,
Ayan.
those who are not able to adjust o okay ka lang, it becomes a problematic situation kasi yung mga tao mo okay din lang. And then suddenly dumating na yung gera, dumating na yung iPhone. So walang contingency
Nagsara
plan.
na.
Oo.
Ayun.
Sheila, one last na lang before we wrap up. Very quick answer lang din po sana. This kind of government, dito sa atin sa Philippines, diba, alam natin na corruption is everywhere. People are talking about corruption. Ang adaptive leadership ba ay makatutulong dito sa ganitong setup? Baka maka-adapt siya sa pagiging corrupt. Baka yun yung makuha niya kapag siya ay nag-adapt, no? Is it useful? Mas makatutulong ba ito na ma-solve ang corruption, itong adaptive leadership?
Well, thank you, Beth. Adaptive leaders definitely regard people not only as warm bodies but as contributors. So kailangan muna transformational yung leader. Diniscuss natin to in the previous series. So when the leader is transformational, he's able to inspire leaders among his followers. And therefore, he's able to place them in positions where they can use their strength. Pero pag hindi nangyari yun, adaptive lang yung leader, then magkakaroon ng resistance among the people he's leading kasi they're not able to have accountability, take accountability for the various situations that they're dealing with, and they don't become leaders themselves. So medyo dangerous to. It's a dangerous proposition for those who don't know what they're getting into. Pero doon naman sa mga candidates natin, alam na nila kung ano yung nangyayari, kung ano yung sistema, kung ano yung dapat baguhin, because they've been there, they've done that, they've worn the shirt, then they become stronger when they use adaptive leadership styles.
Alright, that's very nice. Naku, maraming dapat matutunan itong ating mga leaders. No? Sheila, if they want to contact you, yan, kung gusto nilang matuto nitong mga leadership styles na ito, saan kanila pwedeng makontak? Saan kanila pwedeng tawagan?
Yes, they can reach us at 0917-877-5588, 0917-894-5588. That's talkshop.ph online for leadership courses, personality development, social graces, communication excellence training. And of course, we focus on all this training para we inspire the right change in individuals and organizations. We cater to various companies and organizations, and they can check out all our programs online that are customizable, of course.
All right.
Napakaganda ng ating topic. Very relevant talaga.
May
Lahat
part
tayo
4 pa ba yan?
Yes,
Oo,
hanggang
may
may
mga
pa
pa
pwede.
kaya.
Diba?
Hanggang magkaroon ng
Yan.
hanggang sa halalan. Kailangan
Hanggang sa
pag-usapan natin
election.
at ano yan. Yes.
Oo,
ano
Napakaganda
yan.
yan.
Nakakatulong sa
Na-apply natin
pamilya.
eh.
Oo.
Totoo.
All right. Thank you po,
Talagang gusto ko
Sheila.
yan. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Wellness Fiesta.
Thank you for
Happy
the
Wellness
intelligent
Wednesday.
question. Happy Wellness Wednesday.
Happy Wellness
Good morning.
Wednesday.
Good morning, Kuya.
See you next week, Miss Sheila.